Hello, my name is Eric Alexander. I'm the Executive Director of Vision Long Island. We're a smart growth planning organization, and I have a history as an individual of working on social activist causes throughout Long Island. And my ethical dilemma that I wanted to share is one related to housing and ultimately homelessness and displacement in a local village on Long Island. Let me try to frame the problem in saying that there's a dilapidated low-income housing development that was made up of, had about 45 residents or families in the 45 units. And there were folks that were in danger of being displaced by the building owner who was looking to sell the building to a developer who was going to build luxury housing. The tenants were complaining for a number of years, rightfully so, on the deplorable conditions of the building. They were complaining about insect and rodents, water damage, all kinds of structural problems, and really basically a slumlord that was not addressing any of these concerns. So the residents were complaining to the local village, and the village was making code enforcement, doing code enforcement on the property owner and collecting fines and so on. The challenge here was that some of the residents weren't documented workers, and what that led to is kind of a firestorm of controversy from a number of outside interests who, in the means to do good, actually caused some harm. And I think the ethical problem that my organization faced is we were aware of some of the strategies or the problems that some of the outside interests were putting in play, and maybe, arguably whether we could have done more to address the situation. So let me be specific. So there was a developer who is looking to take over this building and ultimately raise the rents and displace some of these tenants. There were some outside activists that were attempting to fight for the rights of the existing residents. And then there was also a local village that was trying to manage this whole situation. The developer was willing to put some money aside to help these residents find other location to live, maybe $10,000, $15,000 per person. There was also the village was looking to put some dollars aside also to help these folks. And also groups like ours and others were pushing for the developer to keep some people in the building. The outside activists were pushing very hard, and there were lawyers and others involved that were attacking the developer and attacking the village. And the strategies they were using to call people racists and threaten lawsuits and so on, we knew was going to alienate the developer who had the dollars and had the power to keep people on site. And the ultimate challenge was, for myself personally and my organization, do we attack the activists who we like activists? And we like attorneys who are fighting in the public interest, knowing full well that their strategies were making people potentially homeless, and making the developer not want to put money in to help the tenants out or do much of anything, quite frankly. So our challenge, my personal challenge, was how to manage this situation. Ultimately, we pulled in somebody who was able to negotiate the situation and help 10 of the 40 families that were there. But 30-plus families were left without any remuneration, without any dollar contribution to their relocation. and only a handful of families were able to stay in the building. But I go on with the story because it brings the tension as an activist. You have a set of values. You want to fight for people for people's rights and make sure that people can stay in their homes. But there's a situation where market forces are at play and larger forces that sometimes you have to negotiate and deal with. And sometimes when you take such an extreme position, you end up hurting people that you seek to help. And that was the case with some of these activist colleagues. And, do I attack them? Do I say, do I call them out on their strategy and really, but then you're harming an institution that does some good. It was a real big challenge for myself, my organization, and I don't know how we handled it. We ultimately were able to be responsible to help 10 of the families, but could we have helped more? And I guess it's a question: how do we communicate to the activists who were really not helpful in this case? What went wrong? So anyway, that's my story of the day. And I'll be thinking about it for quite some time. Thanks.